as I understand your testimony, you're saying that at some point climate change is going to cause municipal bonds to default. Is that right?
No, I would say that they will be under pressure just because there'll be increased budgetary concerns.
Well, so can they withstand that pressure?
I think so.
Then
yes.
What's the problem?
Problem is that there might be a higher interest rate if there are issues that aren't addressed by state and local governments, that if because of, let's just say, an anticipation of extreme weather events.
So you're worried that interest rates will go up?
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking on your website. You say, my quote, I'm quoting now, contribution to the municipal industry has been extensive as an analyst, strategist, and visionary of the industry's future, close quote. So I want to tap your visionary expertise. At what point do you think climate change is going to cause interest rates on municipal bonds to rise to the point that the interest rates will be prohibitive? When will all this happen?
Well, I'll dust my crystal ball off, but perhaps I think in 10 to 20 years.
10 to 20 years, okay. What do you think we ought to do about it?
I think we ought to be able to identify where infrastructure is most vulnerable to weather events, and that infrastructure is then, appropriate dollars are used to modernize infrastructure. For example, in the town of Marshfield,
I want to cut you off because I don't have
Sure.
much time. You think we ought to spend money?
Wisely and appropriately.
Okay, sure. Well, nobody around here ever stands up and says, I've got a good idea and I need to spend money unwisely and inappropriately.
Correct. You
understand that, right?
I do.
Okay. Do you support the world becoming carbon neutral by 2050? Would that solve? Do you support that?
I don't think that's a reasonable expectation.
Yeah, but if it were, do you support it?
Doesn't seem like it's a bad thing.
Okay. Do you support the United States becoming carbon neutral by 2050?
This may not be possible.
But do you support it?
If it were the right mix of power and energy in order to provide the electricity that's needed for essential needs.
Well, you do
yes.
understand that that's the goal of the most ardent proponents of climate change, do you not?
I do understand that.
Okay.
This is good news for many Americans. State lawmakers have just confirmed new bonus rebate checks are expected to be approved. These checks could be worth hundreds of dollars. Households that reside in these states may qualify to claim this additional relief money as soon as next month. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, do make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Now, friends, lawmakers are back in session in Olympia, Washington for a 60-day session. But House Speaker Lori Jenkins said, the short session will not prevent lawmakers from exploring a long list of priorities. The State House Minority Leader has also said the state must consider providing tax relief to its residents. Some proposals would create rebate checks for residents of Washington state. Governor Jay Inslee has proposed helping low-income families pay their utility bills. Democratic Senator Mark Millett has also introduced a bill to reduce car costs. Currently, Republicans are backing a proposal to provide $214 checks to everyone in the state of Washington who is a registered car owner. The money would come from an estimated $1.3 billion surplus generated by the state's new climate policy, which is the Climate Pledge Act. The law charges carbon producers to generate funds used to fight climate change, subsidizes free transportation for children, and pays for projects like bike lanes and sidewalks. Critics have blamed high gasoline prices on the law. An initiative in November could give voters a chance to repeal it. According to CBS News, the Colorado 2024 Tabor refund checks will not be taxed by the Internal Revenue Service. The IRS said that Tabor refunds may have been subject to income tax, and the IRS asked Colorado taxpayers to delay filing their 2024 taxes until it has made a decision. But Senator Michael Bonet said there will not be a change to Tabor tax refunds and that taxpayers do not have to do anything different. It was the first time the agency has questioned the taxability of Tabor refunds since voters passed a taxpayer bill of rights 30 years ago. The constitutional amendment caps the amount of the revenue that the state is allowed to keep, and anything over the cap needs to be sent back to taxpayers. Last year, it was nearly $3 billion, which resulted in $750 checks for individuals and $1,500 for joint filers. Also, friends, a recent NerdWallet report found that 1/3 of Americans believe that they'll be stuck in credit card debt forever. Credit card expert Sarah Ratner pointed out that credit card balances have risen by 16% in the past year, accompanied by a substantial 22% increase in interest rates. She also highlighted the concerning trend where incomes fail to keep pace with the rising cost of goods. Consumer goods have surged by 20%, while incomes have only seen a 12% increase. Contrary to the misconception that credit card debt results from frivolous spending, Ratner emphasized that a significant number of Americans end up in debt while trying to afford basic necessities. On a different note, a recent Federal Reserve Bank of New York survey suggests that Americans are becoming more optimistic about high inflation. Consumers expect a 3% inflation rate 1 year from now, down from a peak of 7.1% in June 2022. The survey also indicates that consumers foresee a slowdown in price growth in the long term, projecting inflation at around 2.6% 3 years from now and 2.5% 5 years from now. However, this remains above the Fed's 2% target, hinting at the possibility of persistent inflation. In contrast, central bank policymakers project a decline to 2.2% by the year 2025 and then 2% by 2026. Americans anticipate a drop in the cost of food and rent over the next year, but they predict an increase in the cost of education. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has emphasized policymakers' commitments to bringing inflation back to the Fed's 2% target rate. They are also now considering a shift to cutting rates in 2024, signaling signs of a gradually cooling economy, with 3 rate reductions planned this year. So, dear friends, what are the typical costs of groceries in your city or town? Please let me know in the comment section below. Well, my amazing and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed day.